First, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, and all military and active military veterans, please render the proper salute, and Mr. Tola will lead us.
Yeah, absolutely. Please stand. Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
A roll call, Ms. Jenkins, please.
Ms. Richards? Present. Mr. Toler?
Here.
Ms. Abel?
Here.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Present.
Mr. Duncan? Mr. Bush?
Here.
Mr. Moore?
Here.
Ms. Simmons?
Here.
Ms. Dominguez? Present.
All right, item 1C, consider approval of the Board of Minutes, June 18th, 2019. A motion by Mr. Tola. We need a second.
Second.
By Ms. Richards. Any objection? Motion carries. 2A, academic update on early childhood infants class support grant by Ms. Brabham.
How are you? Good.
Good evening. It's good to be here today. I was asked to come give you an update. I'm the early childhood coordinator for our district. And we are excited because we were just awarded a grant for our infant training. You may not know a lot about it because we're little kids, so people don't know a lot about the little ones. But the Tangipahoa Parish School System acts as the lead agency between child care, Head Start, and public school. So we're in the Head Start, we're in child care, we deal with pre-K, 3s, 2s, and infants. Well, until now, we've observed every pre-K and toddler class in public school, Head Start, and child care. Well, the state has extended that into the infant programs. So now we will also be observing every infant classroom for publicly funded students in our parish. And so these teachers don't know anything about the class tool. Our public school teachers are observed using the NIET rubric. Well, pre-K teachers also are observed using the class rubric. And so now that infant teachers have this blessing, we need to train them on what it is and how to be successful. So we wrote this grant, and I have it, I think you have copies, but I just took you to the last page. I included the entire thing in case in your spare leisure time you'd like to read the rationale. But at the end of it, it tells you the specific activities that we're going to use this money for. We originally asked for $40,000, but the state could not do some of the things that we asked because it was by curriculum or to pay for the observations. Because last year we observed 141 classrooms, and this year we'll add an additional 37, and we're a team of 4. So we contract some of that work out. So they're not able to pay for that with this, so that's why you'll see strike-throughs on what they were not able to fund. But they awarded us $32,000. And what we're going to do is pay for the teacher's time and infant instructor's time to come on a Saturday to learn how to be successful using the class tool. And that's to provide quality instruction to infants, which is a challenge because they don't speak yet. So we're modeling behavior for our students. We're also going to get training for them. Like I said, on a Saturday, we'll pay them a stipend and we'll pay for the vendor to come in and do that. We'll buy them an online license so they can do professional development at their own pace. So it's self-paced, it goes through and they'll learn about the class tool and appropriate instructional practices for an infant classroom. We're also going to train 2 of my colleagues to be infant train the trainers. And what that is, I'm a pre-K train the trainer, so I can train other people to observe using this tool. And so I'm going to have 2 of my colleagues trained to be able to train people to be infant observers, because this is the first year that everyone has to be observed. Last year we only did a few, whoever wanted to, so they could get their feet wet. It will not count towards their performance profile, which is a report card for childcare. It's a practice year, but the following year it will count in their performance profile. They get a report card just like public schools do. It's a little bit different, but it's the same premise. And so the thing they couldn't do was curriculum, but they are allowing us to get some class information so we can give them some dimension guides so they can keep with them and get familiar with the terminology and what's expected of them. So in a nutshell, we're getting $32,000 to train infant teachers on effective instructional practices for infant classrooms in our district.
Any comments or questions?
That's great, thank you. We appreciate your diligence. Grant writing is not fun.
Yes, ma'am. Thank goodness I'm wordy, though.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item. 3A, consider committee reports. We have Policy Committee, June 27th, 19. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept.
Motion by Mr. Mingus. Do I have a second?
Second.
By Mr. Westmoreland. Any objection?
Just wanted
Motion.
to
Yes,
ask
sure.
a question. We had several new policies. I know they came from Forethought, but Ms. Silly did, I guess our attorney looked at all the brand-new policies about, just, I know we've had to do that before. Just wanna make
Yes, we
sure
send them, we send it to
Yeah,
Mr.
okay,
Moody, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Okay.
That was it.
All right, so motion passes. 4A, Superintendent's Reports and Recommendations. A, consider approval to refer the following policies to the Policy Committee: JBC, School Admissions; JCDA, Student Code of Conduct; and JCDB, Student Dress Code.
Yes, Madam President, I ask that the board consider sending these three policies to our policy committee.
All right, do I hear a motion for that?
Make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Richards, do I have a second? No, was that Ms. Richards?
No.
Ms. Abrams, and Ms. Richards seconded it?
Second.
Okay. Next item,
We vote?
I'm sorry, any objection? Motion passes. Moving too fast. All right, now, 4B, general update, Ms. Stilley.
No updates tonight.
Okay. All right, 5A, personal privilege, board member comments. Ms. Robin.
I just hope everybody had a happy 4th of July. It was a wonderful weekend. Had a great fundraiser again for TARP.
Yeah, good.
We everybody's moving along now, and we getting back to what we're ready for school to start. So I know the teachers don't want to hear that word, but
Yeah.
we're looking forward for our next school year.
All right, Ms. Richards?
I'd just like to say that to the board and to the teachers and the community, the family of TJ was so appreciative of all of the love that you showed during their time of bereavement. We were there for them, and they really, they're still calling to say thank you.
Mr. Toller?
I'm good.
All right.
Hey, Margie. Hey, Tony. Good to see you.
Ms. Stilley? Mr. Bush? Mr. Moore?
Yeah, well, I would just like to say, Melissa, glad to have you back and praying for you. Other than that, everybody have a great summer. Enjoy your summer.
Ms. Dominguez?
No, thank you, I'm good. Thank you.
Mr. Westmoreland?
Perfect.
All right, and I have nothing to say also, believe it or not. Okay.
Well, Jesus come in the morning.
I knew you'd have something cute to say, Bush.
It's got cold somewhere.
I'm going to buy me a lottery ticket. I'm just joking about it.
All right,
We love you.
We love you, Stephen Bailey.
all right, love you too. All right, Mr. Westmoreland, we're going to let you do Duncan's spot here. Executive session, you want to read the cases?
Yeah, consider the case of Joyce M. Moore versus TPSB in the Eastern District. Also consider the case of Gregory Griffin versus TPSB in Tangipahoa Parish by Mr. Moody, and consider the case of Arthur Rusty Barrelou versus TPSB, also by Mr. Moody.
All right, do I have a motion to go into executive session?
I so move.
Mr. Westmoreland, and a second by Mr. Mingus. Any objection?
17, proudly serving the Florida parishes.
All right, Mr. Westmoreland, you want to give our
Yes.
motion?
Section A, there's no action to be taken on the Joyce Moore case. On the Gregory Griffin case, we're going to accept the recommendation of counsel, and I think Mr. Moody's going to give us something on Section C.
Yes, sir. Our recommendation, and the administration agrees, that we've not taken appeal in the Arthur Rusty Barrelou case. And As a result, therefore, Judge Ricks's judgment will stand, and Mr. Barrow will be reinstated to his position. And that was the decision, unanimous decision of the board. Assuming it's voted that way.
We accept that recommendation.
Are we on C?
C.
That was C.
Made a motion.
Yeah, I made a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Any objection to that one? Motion passes.
On A, B, and C.
Yeah. All right,
Move to adjourn.
all right.
A,
Wait.
A, B, and C, motion was to accept the recommendation of the administration.
Well, A, there's no action.
A, no
We didn't do
action.
anything.
There was no action on A at all.
But no action
Okay.
is a recommendation of the administration, so they're all three would be.
So do we need a separate motion for B?
We
I don't
can.
think so, though. I don't think we need a motion for that. We've never done that before.
I'll make a motion
Would
to
you-
accept the
yeah.
recommendation of council in item B, Gregory Griffin.
Second.
Thought I did that, but it's okay.
Right. Ms. Rose?
You did, which ones did you do, A and B?
I just did B. He had already done
A and C.
C, and
A, there was
A
no
is
action.
no action. There was
Yeah,
no.
okay,
there was no action.
we got them all, okay.
No objection?
No objection, motion's passed.
Thank you.
We'll go in there.
Any public input?
No public input. Meeting adjourned.